Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. I'm Miss Bridget from Pickfair, and today I'm going to show you how to take a plant that you bought from the store and pot it into a new pot. So let's get started. So some materials you need are potting soil, a new pot, your plant, some water, and some gardening gloves. If you don't have any gloves, then you can just use your hands. So before we can begin the potting process, we want to make sure that we have the right pot for our plant. We do that by seeing if our pot is bigger than our old pot. We can see here that my new gray pot is in fact bigger than the pot that my plant is currently in. So next, we want to check to see if there are any draining holes at the bottom of our pot. Sometimes there aren't. This specific pot that I have is one of those examples. There's not any draining holes, but there are spots where it looks like that you can create your own draining holes at, and I'll show you how to do that later. But if your pot is like this one and it does have a draining hole, then you are good to go on to the potting step. So like I said before, my pot doesn't have any draining holes in it, so I'm going to use a power drill to drill some holes in the bottom of my pot. If you are doing the same, make sure there's an adult there to either drill for you or just oversee you drilling the holes into your pot. We don't want anyone to get hurt doing this. So I'm about to start drilling some holes into my pot. The reason why we want draining holes in our pots is so that water runs through the plant's soil and all the way to the bottom of the pot and out the holes at the bottom. If we don't have draining holes, then the water will pool and will cause root rot, and that's not good for your plant at all. So now that we have some draining holes in the bottom of our pot, we are finally ready to begin the potting process. So we're going to fill up the pot about a third of the way right here with some potting soil. And the type of potting soil I'm using is a moisture control potting soil, which is really good for this specific plant, which is a ZZ plant and doesn't like too much water in their soil. And I'm just going to keep filling it up until it's about a third of the way. And I'm gently patting it too. And now that it's about a third of the way full, we can grab our plant. And we are just going to begin patting the sides of our old plant's pot. Just kind of like if you were building a sandcastle and you flipped a bucket over and you're hitting the sides of the bucket to help loosen up the soil inside so you can remove it easier. So we're just patting all around the sides of the pot and at the bottom. And then when we think it's ready, we're going to turn it on its side like this. Put one hand at the base of your plant and the other at the other side. And if it's not loose yet, you can continue to pat it until you feel it to begin loosening up. And then you just twist and pull out your plant. Now right here we see that there are a lot of roots growing at the bottom of the soil of the plant. It's wrapping around, and that's not good. What that means is that our plant has outgrown its old pot and it's ready for a new one. So we need to loosen up the soil and the roots of the plant like this. And if they're really long roots, you can always cut them. These weren't too long, so I didn't feel like I needed to trim them. But if you break any roots in the process of just loosening up the soil, then that's okay because they'll just grow back anyways. And now that my roots are loose, I'm going to place my plant in the center of my pot and make sure all of my roots are inside the pot. None of them are hanging out on the sides. And if you look right here, you can see the bulb of the plant, which is pretty cool. Now I'm going to take some soil and fill it in on the sides and at the top. That way all of our roots are covered and the bulbs are covered. And I'm just going to gently pat the soil and work my way around the sides of the pot to make sure that there are no loose spots or that there's plenty of soil all around the plant. So now that our plant is nicely tucked into its new pot, we are ready to water it. And we are going to water all throughout the soil, all around the plant, and up close next to the plant too. That way our water is evenly distributed throughout the soil and some spots aren't drier than others. And we're going to wait for that water to settle a little bit. And then we're going to add a little bit more. And there you go. So here is your new potted plant. I hope you guys had fun watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see more videos like this one on our channel. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day.